income coming into my household, me. And you have how, what, 5, 4, 5?
I gotta tell you a very quick story. My accountant was the one that had to point it out to me. He said, is there a reason why someone shouldn't give you money every day? And I had to think about that. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, well, with all the different things you do, are you getting paid every day or does it accumulate? And I said, well, it accumulates. He says, okay, well, every day accumulates as well. So if you have a business or a thought or a train of thought of business, why not get paid every day? One business may pay you on Tuesday. Another business may pay you on Wednesday and Friday. But why not get paid every day? Something to think about.
Two pieces of the same heart, two halves of the same story, two harmonies to the same sound. Perfect fit and you're getting more, and the pieces fall into place. It's incredible. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I just wanted to introduce you to, right? Lisa's another resource of another avenue. I make money on Mary Kay. Like I do. I was making a 6-figure income, also doing real estate, and selling Mary Kay. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Right?
Yep.
And now I'm gonna start doing insurance. One, because I wanna learn it from my family. I'm really big on that. I have a hard time letting somebody else manage my money. So I wanna understand it. And I wanna make sure that I can help babysit that and understand it and ask effective questions and all of that fun stuff. So that's my main reason for learning insurance. But I'm also, I'm like, why not make money doing it?
She's gonna make a buttload doing it.
I can help. That's the reason. That's why I want to do it. People don't, and I'm not even going to get on that topic right now because if you guys are interested, you're going to reach out. But it just makes sense. It just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Amanda,
So,
can I say something on
please
that?
do.
It's so critical to know what insurance you have. Like, I've been working with our dental insurance because of like our family. We're on the best plan, but when I was talking to them about things that were not covered, the guy said to me, I am amazed at how much you know more about what we offer our clients than I know, shamefully enough. Because I've done the number punching, I know how much extra people are paying in premiums just to save a couple $100 when you're paying like thousands of dollars. And also just homes, like homes, they don't cover flood unless you ask. We had a flood, and when my husband called me and said our house flood, I was like, that's okay, because I made sure that we had that, because I had a 3-year-old that was clogging a toilet when I was transferring my insurance. And so there's a lot of things. It's security. It's security for the things that you've established and the foundation that you have. And it's critical to know that if your significant other, if you're not with somebody, but if your significant other is plucked out of your life, would you financially be okay? Because a lot of women, particularly, it would devastate them and their lifestyle would dramatically change. And so you have to make sure that you're secure for whatever options or possibilities that happen in the future.
And even, like I already have my funeral planned, not because I plan on dying, but because I want my kids to be able to grieve. I don't want my kids to have to worry about what color casket to get in and stuff like that. So, anyhow, I highly recommend that you jump on if you're interested. This is only if you're interested. So if you have some ideas, why not? Because it's that easy to pick up another stream of income. Seriously, read a couple of those. Be a photographer. Wow. Do you know how many people, I have a photographer here. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people need this stuff. I hired a photographer the other day to help me with my marketing. This isn't some big time person, this is just somebody who likes to take pictures and decides that they wanna make money. Right, so here's a couple ideas. I figured I'd just throw them out there. Guess what I'm gonna start doing, possibly, this is an idea. I named my son, who I'm not seeing in here, I named him Slicker Than Me. And I named him Slicker Than Me because he thinks he's slicker than me. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make t-shirts that have your cartoon face character that I got at Disneyland one year, and I'm gonna put Slicker Than Me, and I think we should start selling your t-shirts. And he, of course, said no, but I was like, heck yes, I am. I just gotta get to it. And then I have Slicker Than Me Part 2. So we'll get to that too, you know? So I took this, if you guys want to take a picture of this is just something I grabbed off of Instagram, but when I started to put myself in the mental of, what's an idea? What's an idea? What can I do to make money? I don't know, I could watch people's pets. Do you know how many times there's flyers in grocery stores when you walk in and they're like, I'll walk your dog? They're making money. It's on the sign. Maybe they only have 4 extra hours that week, but once again, why not? Why not? So these are just some ideas. Some of them, I don't know if I agree with. Like another thing that I was thinking of is I was like, I work out and I work out quite a bit. So maybe I should help train people. Or maybe I'm just gonna go set up a yoga mat at a park and just start having people slowly come join me and just do yoga for an hour or whatever, because I work out. Why not get paid? I'm doing it anyways. You guys good if I change that? Okay. Let's see what number this is. 19. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of run through this. This is actually really important. This is a really important slide because I test myself often. An example of a test that I've done to myself, and people think I'm crazy, is I was like, I don't have enough challenging things going on in my life. I'm gonna start using the mouse with my computer with my left hand because my left hand is weak. And see how this goes. So I spent 30 days using the mouse with my left hand because it was opening doors in my head, if that makes sense.
You're retraining your brain.
I constantly just challenge myself. Like I just do that. And I like it. I don't know why. Some people will call it crazy. Some people think it's weird. I actually just like it. So one of the things that I've challenged myself with is, and not even recently, but have, is I'm like, I'm not spending, these next 2 weeks, I'm not spending any time on social media. Because now that I'm still figuring myself out, social media just sucks my day up. It is insane. Next thing I know, an hour went by, and I'm like, I did nothing. I did nothing. That's cool. I mean, I don't see a problem with that, but I do see a problem with I'm not managing my time the best. And I'll make some time for social media, but I'd rather make some money. So let's jump into this slide right here. How to manage your time. Be aware of how you spend your time each day. Hi! I can spend 4 hours on social media and have it fly by. Next thing I know, I haven't used the bathroom and I'm hungry. I'm like, wow, I just spent 4 hours on social media. That can go, I'm just using social media as an example because that actually happened to me recently. I had surgery, so all I could do was lay down, and I was like on social media all day. I'm like, holy cow, this is, like, I had to almost tell myself, like, don't pick up your phone. Because I had trained myself to constantly be on it, just through my recovery period. So, set priorities, know what's important and what isn't. This is important. Because you might be focusing your time on something that isn't really doing much for you. Again, this is if you want to be an outside of the box, above and beyond type person, right? If you want to go sit and not worry about your priorities, don't. Nothing's wrong with that.
Can I make a quick comment? Couple
Yes.
things. I need to use Mark. Social media, something that he started doing is to check his time with doing social media. He'll do 10 push-ups every time he checks Facebook or whatever it is. And that way, one, it's a kind of a deterrent if you don't feel like doing push-ups right then, or if you've already checked, 100 times and your arms are getting tired. But the other thing is you're getting stronger. while you're doing it. So if you pair it with something.
I was wondering why your jacket was a little bit tight around
Yeah,
your arms. I was trying to figure.
The other thing that we do is we set what is called daily intentions every morning, and we try to keep it to 3 things. And so these are the things that you set out at the beginning of the day, and you're like, I need to get this done, or I really want to get this done, and it kind of checks your time for going on a social media and having those time wasters. And I think it's fine to go on social media sometimes, but it will kill your time. Or those little dinky games like solitaire lately for me.
Good point.
So I try not to get those things done until I have my daily intentions done. And then if I do the 3, I can add more. But I find that if I have more than 3, it gets overwhelming and you feel like a failure if you don't get everything done on your list. So I try to keep it manageable. And the other thing that really helps me personally is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a Pomodoro technique, where you set a set time. It's, I think, traditionally 25 minutes. I like to do 45 minutes. I set my timer. I do this all day long. I set my timer, work really hard in a very focused way. So when you have like a whole day to do stuff, it's so easy to just kind of procrastinate it or take your time. You're gonna fill up that time. You set 45 minutes, then you could really focus. And you're not tempted to go to Facebook or whatever, because this is what I want to get done in my 45-minute stint. If it's something I really don't feel like doing, like bills or something, then I'll make it short in 20 minutes or something. And then after the 45 minutes, I do a 10 to 15 minute something else, get around the house, clean, check social media, do more fun things. And then I'll start another 45-minute stint. And it might be in the same vein, or it might be doing something else, but it helps me be super productive through my day. Because my big fear is, like, I have all of these goals. I have businesses I'm wanting to launch and everything, but it's so easy to have ideas but not show up. And it really takes those goal settings to know, I want to get here, but unless I do the work right now, this second, I'm never going to be there. It's always going to be in the future. And I don't want my day to, I don't want social media, I don't want all these things to determine what's going to make up my day. I want to determine that. And you can only do that if you're being really proactive.
I love that. Thank you. I knew there was a reason why you came here. She hit the nail on the head.
What was that called again?
Which? Oh, Pomodoro. Yeah, and they have apps and with timers and but really all it is just setting. I set like a literal timer. I'll set a timer, and then when it goes off, sometimes I'll just pay attention to the clock, I guess, and bottom of the hour, I always try to get up and move around, because your productivity will go down over time if you don't get up and move.
And the older you get, your knees start to ache, so I'm experiencing that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. She actually hit it right on the head. So make sure that you're establishing your goals. We've gone over that. Plan your strategy and expect to meet your goals. If she didn't do, is it Pomodoro?
Pomodoro. Pomodoro, I think.
It would be a lot harder for her to do this, right? Time management is huge. That's why it's in this section of this presentation, because of goals and everything. If you don't set up and prioritize your day, you're gonna miss out on your goals. And next thing you know, it's gonna be 30 days that went by. I'm guilty of this lately on something, but we won't talk about it. And so I had to hurry and reel it in and refocus. So managing your time is extremely important.
There's one, sorry, just gonna interject one more time. There's this one quote that said, because people will be like, oh, it's gonna take too long, it's gonna take at least a couple of years to maybe get your business up and running and get out of the red. But there's this great quote that says, the time is gonna pass anyway, so you might as well be doing what you wanna be doing and working towards that goal.
And then developing good habits. So back to that, that's what you're doing. You're developing good habits. And this is important because it will get you what you want in life. So any questions on time management? I'm like her on time management. So I'm glad you spoke up. I'm a big supporter of time management. So if anybody needs help in that area, I can help you. The wealthy versus average. I sat this in here because I'm not trying to dog anything out, but I'm gonna say, I don't watch TV. I'm not a TV person. And I'm glad I'm not, because, I mean, I will occasionally, it's rare. You can't ask me what movies, oh, have you seen this movie? Or Ed always like quotes things out of movies, and I'm like, all the time, because I haven't been watching them since I was young. So I like haven't seen hundreds and hundreds of movies that I've seen almost all of Disney, that's for sure. But I read a lot, I set goals a lot, and you'll just see the difference between somebody who wants to go above and beyond and change their life and break cycles versus somebody who wants to just sit and do, and they're comfortable and they're doing what they want to do. Nothing's wrong with that. But this will help. This will help. So read daily, set goals. Right now, the book, so I just got done reading a book called Side Hustle. I'm now reading a book so I have an Instagram. If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that it's like night and day from my Facebook. Because Instagram's a test for me, and I'm testing it for marketing purposes. So the book that I'm reading right now is teaching me how to strategize that at best on Instagram. Compliment instead of criticize. I like to live in a positive space. That's just me. My life's too short. I'm getting old. I am. Things are aching at the new state. I can't wear heels as long as I used to. Would you like me to go on?
It's because you work heels
Pretty
for so
rough.
long.
This is true. Oh, embrace change. A lot of people have a hard time with change. And not everything's gonna work out. Embrace it. Embrace it and realize it's not working. And just change your angle and your thought. No need to dwell, no need to get mad, no need to state your point. Just adapt and move on. Now, if somebody did something to you in a negative way, then you just know what card to play moving forward. But there's no reason to dwell over that. There's no reason to get mad about that. But I know what card to play with you moving forward, and we're never going to play the hand that I thought we could play again. Okay? So embracing change is huge. Change is inevitable. So just take that pill and swallow it. And get comfortable with it. A lot easier said than done. She probably heard me preach this to her 1,000,000 times. Yeah. Forgive. This is something that I'm actually working on currently. Because it's not that I hold a grudge. I'll eat at the same table with you and I'll sit with you. But I know not to trust you on a certain level, or I don't feel safe with you, or whatever that or is. But I'm still gonna sit at the table with you. I'm still gonna love you. If you need to shit off my back, I'll give it to you. Talk about ideas, not people. I constantly talk about ideas. Brooke, open a cupcake store, please. Did anybody try a cupcake? Mm-hmm. Do we all think she needs to have a truck or something?
Yeah.
Right? Like, just do it. I've been telling her that for 2 years. Constantly learn. I'm a sponge. I always want to learn. I love learning. It fuels my tank. Seriously. Take responsibility, own it. Take responsibility for your failures. Just own it. Everybody makes a mistake. Like my logo lives on stage. Everybody does that stuff, right? Just own it. Yeah, I messed up. My bad. And then learn from it. Okay? This is just a thing. So just a quick story. So at SOS Staffing, they gave me one of the many times, actually a couple times I should say, they gave me the job of somebody who had a degree. It's happened multiple times. Amanda, we're gonna fire this person. First of all, I was told multiple times, you're not qualified for this job. Well, why am I not qualified? I'm meeting your goals and I'm doing things that you guys can do. Because you don't have a degree. All right.
This is why we're soul sisters. Overqualified,
All right.
undereducated.
So I've actually just thought of 3 different occasions that they've fired people with degrees and gave me their department or their job. Okay? Well, one of the ladies that this happened with, she was always the no corner. And I used to always joke with her and I'd be like, God, every time somebody comes to your desk, you say no. Why? Why can't we just get it done? Why are you constantly saying no? she openly, because we were friends, she openly admitted to me because she was lazy and she didn't want to put any extra effort into it. Like, she was just there to get her paycheck. Well, you have a team of people that are relying on you. Like, and they're constantly coming to you with ideas and things that they want to do. And I hear you, and this happened for years, you're constantly shutting them down to the point where they don't even want to go to you anymore. So I was like, you're the no corner, I'm the yes corner. And she's like, oh, you can do all that, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, but if you change things, you won't have all these issues and all these fires to put out if you just change some things. So say yes and help and listen. That was another thing. She was always a no corner because she never wanted to listen. I was always like, let's get it fixed. There's a problem. I like to take vacation. I don't want to be here all the time. Let's fix it. The reason why I put this on here is because in order to fix things, you have to think outside of the box. The world is changing every single day. You can't do what you did 10 years ago. You can't do what you did 10 years ago. It doesn't work. It's not as effective. Technology has changed. People have grown. Things have changed. We have to start wanting better. If you expect to be anywhere in life, you have to want better. Think outside of the box. It's okay. It's okay. I know it's scary, but it's okay. Don't just get comfortable and repetitive and do it because this is what you've always known.
Amanda?
Yes.
So for me, an example of an opportunity that I have to think outside the box. So when I was developing this augmented reality entertainment hub, I interviewed parents to see what was important for them to in terms of activities at the restaurants, and they said to me clearly, you know, coloring is important. Like the majority of them said that. I interviewed 100. Anyway, so what we had first, when you look at our first prototype, it was an augmented reality optimized placemat where kids can color and the image would come alive, whatever. The thing is that when I saw at scale that the crayons were very costly, it was beyond my budget, I gulped. I said to the team, there is no way we could afford this. So I knew it couldn't fit within my budget, like buying crayons for the placemat and even selling it. It just couldn't. But I knew on the other hand, coloring is so important for a lot of these parents. And so what do? And I said, okay, I know I have to leverage this opportunity. I have to be creative with, you know, my strengths and this. I had to be creative with constraints. This was an example of a constraint. All I have to do is be creative. And so I stood still, stopped worrying. I stood still. And all of a sudden, I had the aha moment. And I was like, wait a minute. Why was I even crying? I am surrounded by color. So what I invented, and now it's patent pending, is the ability for kids to take color from real space. So real space is your color palette. So for example, if I was your daughter, I could hold my handheld device and select that red and then put it on the 3D model.
Wow.
I could take the yellow from the banana on my plate and put that yellow. I was like, duh, I'm surrounded by color.
Wow.
Yeah, thinking outside the box. And now that's patent.
Wow.
Yeah, we call that augmented reality coloring.
Man. Heck yeah. That's huge. That's a friend. So Ava's handing you out just a little pamphlet here. I'm just going to go over this quickly. Laughter is an instant vacation. There's Sharon is an example of this for me. I literally hired a girl because everything in my world at SOS and Elwood was so stressful because I carried all of the weight, and I care. When my name's on something, I care. So what does that mean? That means I carry a lot of weight on my shoulders because I want things to work. And if they don't work, it's hard, you know, we get through it or whatever, but it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of stress. So I literally hired one girl because in the interview with her, I felt so good when I left that room. Like, her smile, I was like, I will train you. I will create you. I need you in my bubble every single day to get through this stuff that I'm facing. Just be there. And it was Alicia Martin.
And they didn't steal her away from you 3 months later, did they?
No, they ended up stealing it. A lot of my employees got stolen because they were good. But, so real quick, first page here, laughter is an instant vacation. This is true. It helps relieve stress, wards off depression. I know a good chuckle for me just makes me feel so good. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm so friends with Ed. I'm just kidding. It is. Ed makes me laugh every time I talk to him. So if I'm having a really hard day, Ed's a big go-to for me because he'll literally not only put me in my place, but he makes me laugh. And I love that, and I appreciate that about you, because I need that in my life. It gives the muscle relaxation, pain reduction, it helps with blood pressure. I was gonna go into all this, but I was running low on time. Here's a good question to ask yourself. Do we stop laughing because we grow old? Or do we grow old because we stop laughing? I agree. Let's move to page 2. Page 2, where's the pens? Just hand out pens. So page 2, just real quick, I want you guys to write down something that made you smile today. This maybe was way too cute for me not to use this example. So I just underneath that baby, just want you to write. I'm just going to quickly hand out some pens. I just want you to write something today that made you smile. Go, Ava. And while you guys are writing that, go, Ava. Did you guys like the thought?
Oh,
yeah.
It was really good.
Yay.
Very good.
So, she should have a food cart. I so hope she's listening right now. She should have a food
I
cart.
heard like the food comes from her mom's restaurant,
Yeah, that's
which I read about the address.
yes. Okay. So, if you're done writing down on page 2 something that made you smile today, I just want you to kind of marinate on that. And I just wanted to throw some positivity back into the world and just put your mind in a good setting, right? Focus on something positive. John, what made you smile today?
Came home today for a little break, and my 2 little girls, one's 8 and one's 10, they were helping each other, with chores. They were, each of them were doing each other's chore, and helping. I just love that stuff. When you see your kids help each other, that always makes me smile.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hey, Gigi,
Yes.
what made you smile today?
That you invited me to come here, honestly. That was made my day.
I'm so glad you came.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Page 3. This is showing you a brain that's under stress. It's showing you a brain that's experiencing pain. And that's why I have a frowny face there, because this is not where you want your brain to be. And again, I was going to go into a lot of depth on this, and we're just going to kind of wrap it up a little bit faster. Page 4, the last page there, you'll notice that brain is experiencing high endorphins. Endorphins are things that help with your stress and your pain. They actually bring it back into a positive state as long as they're happy endorphins. Does anybody know some things that help you boost endorphins to make you happy?
Exercise.
Will you say that louder?
Exercise.
Okay, anybody else?
Music. Dance.
Or prayer. Yes. Chocolate. Chocolate. There's actually, it's proven, chocolate. And then eating your favorite dish also. It just brings you happiness, right? Sex.
Oh, for sure.
Okay? Sex yesterday, the craziest thing, something that helps endorphins, I never knew. Eating hot peppers. For some reason, I was like, oh, that's why I'm always happy, because I'm always eating spicy food. I literally had like a hot sauce bottle at my desk. I had sriracha, I had red hot at my desk because I like to drench my food in hot sauce. Anyways, I was gonna go over dry brushing. I'll just try to make that a little bit quick. Who dry brushes in here? Does anybody in here dry brush?
Completely different ways.
Holy cow! So, if you don't know anything about dry brushing, get to know dry brushing. So, you'll want to dry brush before you get in the shower or the bath, and you always, Ed, can you come here for just 1 second? I hope everybody can see this. But you always dry brush and stroke, we turn around, and you stroke up towards the heart. Because what you're doing is you're taking your lymphatic, yep. You're taking that and you're pushing it through the bloodstream up so that it cleanses through the hearts and through your arteries and everything, and it releases toxins. On top of that, women, it helps, here is some, in the back, you're gonna stroke down, you're gonna stroke up, you're gonna go up on your legs, and you do it at least 5 brushes per body part, okay? So it helps, you can sit back down, thanks for letting me. Actually dry brush you all the time. It helps with, it improves your skin cell renewal. It helps with your blood circulation. It helps tighten your skin and reduce visible cellulite. I'm like, I will dry brush every day. And then it also, it's a good exfoliator for dry skin, which we do have a dry state, so it does help with exfoliation.
But you said before taking a shower?
I do it before taking a shower.
Oh, but you could do it even during.
Yeah, absolutely.
No wet skin,
No wet skin? I do it in the shower too, so if it says no wet skin. Oh yeah, no wet skin, you're right. Oh, pores unclogging.
Wet brushing.
Stress relief.
Also known as scrubbing.
I have that exact same brush in the shower.
Yeah, the layers of your skin.
I mean, you do it dry.
Apparently.
You've been doing it wrong this whole time,
didn't
Caroline.
know. I know, I've learned
And then
something
get,
new
and then
there.
just get,
No idea.
You don't need to worry about it.
then this even comes off. So
I like all the
what you do
cellulite.
is this too. You can find these at Walgreens, spas. I got this one at Curador. So I played this one here, and the song I was going to play with this one is by a woman who, her name is Michelle. How do you say it?
Michelle.
Yes, Michelle. Thank you. And she was a very strong woman, and if I can get this to change, I'm just going to play a song a little bit, but it reminds me of equality specifically with her. I wear that equality shirt all over the place. I intentionally wear that equality shirt at Jazz Game City front row, just so everybody knows, because I want it to be seen on TV. As a matter of fact, they did one of the playoffs, it was either, I think it was last year, where they had everybody wearing the same t-shirts. I intentionally wore that shirt so I would be seen, because equality is big to me. I've been discriminated on for a lot of my years in regards to being a woman up against men in a lot of different positions that men dominate. And so this speaks volumes for me, and I love that women are standing up for themselves nowadays. But this woman was, she stood so tall next to, it's Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, she stood so tall next to him for years, just for him to sit back and abuse her, take advantage of her. And she created this song through pain. She sang this song with tears. And she still stood next to him. So, equality is huge for me. My husband jokes about it all the time. He's like, oh, here's the story. I'm in New York, and we're at a restaurant, and I'm at a table with a bunch of bakers. businessmen. I'm the only woman. And and I'm only telling you these things not to brag because I'm not that type of person. But I want you to feel and see the environment that I was in. So it's a very nice restaurant. It was $400 a plate. It was $400 a person. It was an 8-course meal that was paired with wine and drinks the entire time. And I'm sitting at this table with these very successful millionaires. Okay? And the whole time they're referring to the chef as a man. The whole conversation. And something in my gut was like, well, what if she's a woman? But I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to offend anybody at the table because I was just a wife. I was in wife mode. That was my role. So I was like, well, I don't want to say anything to these men. I'm like, I just have to know. If it's a man, it's a man. Cool. But I've been going through this my whole life. So I pulled over the master, guy that's helping the table, and I'm whispering to him because I don't want anybody to hear me. And I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, is the chef in the back, and the food was amazing. I'm like, is the chef in the back, is it a guy or a girl? He's like, it's a woman. Oh my God, I need you to do me a favor. I'm like, can you please have her come out and introduce me? Can you please just have her come out and introduce her to the table? And he's like, sure, yes ma'am. So he goes back there. This chef comes out, she's like 26 years old, and she rocked the house. Every single course of this meal was like amazing. Amazing. And she walks out, hi, like it's nothing. And I was like, God, I love you right now. She meets all of them, and their jaws are like slamming the ground. And she's like, would you guys like to come back to the kitchen and get a tour? So on top of that, we got a tour of the kitchen, and she oversaw like 30 other chefs who were in training that she was teaching. I'm getting chills talking about it. And we went back to the table, and we sat down, and we had dessert, and they didn't know that I created that situation. And so they're all talking about how cool it was. Well, the guy comes back over, and he's like totally directing me. By the way, I'm just a wife in the situation, right? I didn't create it. I didn't do anything. So he comes back to me, he's like, did everything go okay? And so everybody at the table now is like, why is he with her? And so I turned around and just said, you guys didn't know this, but I actually asked the chef to come out because I wanted you to meet her because you kept assuming. And I looked over at Tim and I was like, I'm just going to say it. I'm like, because you guys kept assuming that it was a man. And when I found out that it was a woman, I needed you guys to meet her. And he goes, yeah, she's a man is always on this big equality thing, da-da-da-da-da. That's the picture. Then I was like, I just needed you guys to know that it was a woman. So anyways, that's my story behind that. This just happened like a week ago, maybe a week and a half. So there's that. If you don't know about this woman singing this song, she's amazing. Jerome?
Yep. Outstanding.
Man.
Outstanding. She endures a lot of pain, like you said. And for someone who's ever been in a relationship that didn't work, you understand what that means. Apply that to life and a job. And having a job that you have to have because of your finances. You have to take care of that kid. You have to pay that car bill. But that job is just as hateful to you as anyone on the street that you've never met before. To be in a relationship like that and then to turn out a product as strong as she has. Let's go further than that before her. Everybody in this room has heard of Tina Turner and what she had to go through. That woman was beat on stage several times and people didn't know it. It's amazing how we as people can overcome things. Doesn't have to be in the music. It's just on a day-to-day basis. Learn how to make some changes. Changes are good. The first change you need to make tomorrow when you get up is say, I can.
Yes!
And then go do.
Yes!
And anybody that 98 people that you got rid of, anybody that's in your life that has a negative note to your life, disappear, get rid of them. I've been to 13 countries in every state in the United States. I know how many people it is in this world, and I know that somebody likes me. To add to that real quick story, my mom said to me years back when I was into personal protection and bodyguard service, she said, son, you might want to change the way you look. I said, why is that? She says, because people, they frown on your character. I said, Mom, if only 10% of the people like me, I'm okay with that. She said, well, why is that? I said, because I don't know 90% of them. So the 10% of the people that take the time to get to know me and who I am, those are the 10% that I need in my life. Those other 90%, they're not meant to be there. There's a season and a reason for everything, and every season does not last. Find out what the reason was for that season and keep it moving. That's enough for me. It's your turn.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, girl.